evening, everybody. Welcome to Going Nuclear, full-blown coverage of the Land, part of the Land Multimedia Group. Welcome in, everybody. I am Ethan Greenberg, along with my co-host Drew Hagenbaugh and Mike Pellegrini. Also joining us, my boy, my smaller self, my twin Jacob. Thank you for coming on with us, Jacob, as we have a lot to discuss about with our Cleveland Browns. This afternoon, after the last open training camp practice to the public, before the preseason opener or for the season, they have announced that in fact Deshaun Watson will be the starter in Chicago for preseason week 1. Guys, I guess let's go around the room and firstly get our thoughts here. Mike, are you surprised by this decision? And what are your general feelings on Todd Monken making that choice?
First of all, I'm not surprised because, as we've been discussing privately, Shador's kind of struggled with pre-snap routines, so the basics. So it's probably the right decision to start off with Deshaun Watson. Do I agree with the decision? No. I'd rather just go with Shador and give him as many reps throughout the preseason as possible. But am I surprised? Not really.
Right. Drew, where do you stand on it?
I mean, I'm with Mike. Like, I don't really like it because, again, I want Shador to get as much reps as possible, and I want him to be the day one starter. You guys know my takes on this. I've said it most of the shows that we've done so far is I want Shador to be the starter all season long just to see what we have in him and see if we have a legit quarterback. But I understand the sentiment. Again, the pre-snap routine and, getting out of the huddle, getting to the line hasn't been great from Shador. And, that's what we talked about before the show was because these college coaches are very bad now at helping their QBs get out of college into the NFL. But it is what it is. At this point, preseason to see what you have in both guys. And if Deshaun sucks it up, then he sucks it up and Shador will be the starter. And, so could be a good thing, could be a bad thing.
Right. Jacob, do you want to make it well, I know I'm pretty sure I know where you stand on this, but I'll let you give your response here, sir.
No, this is definitely the expected result. Mm-hmm. I think you saw it coming pretty much. And I do think it is the right decision by Todd Monken. He's just looked better so far through most aspects. Not sure about the classroom portion of it. He could be doing worse. He could be doing better. We don't know. But, from what we can see and what we know, he has been performing better in most areas. And I do foresee him being our week 1 starter in the regular season.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement. We don't love the choice, but I think we all think it's the right choice at this time. And I think that we would all kind of sit in the same position or look at it from the perspective of we anticipate at this point he will be the week 1 starter. We'll kind of go through some of what Todd Monken said during his press conference today about how he is going to give each of these quarterbacks an opportunity to showcase in the preseason and so on and so forth, and dissect it just a little bit further than what he said, because once this decision was made about who is QB1 for this coming Saturday at Chicago to take on the Bears, it led me to have some questions about what's going to happen next week in the joint practices in Buffalo or against Buffalo leading up to the preseason game, which apparently, according to Todd Monken, Shador will start. So we'll have to get into that a bit. Jacob, you and I went to training camp last Saturday, just a few days ago. And while we were busy getting sunburnt, which is the pain that the Browns bring us, it's only appropriate. What did you see from the day that we were there? And that was the day, of course, when it was anticipated that it was Shedeur Sanders that was going to be getting the first team reps, only to then see Deshaun Watson take all the first team reps, and later on learn that after walkthrough, Todd Monken apparently told Deshaun and Shedeur they were going to flip things around, and Watson was going to take the ones. Then, after he tells them that, he tells the press and the media he doesn't tell them of that plan. When they asked him about it on Monday at the first opportunity, essentially he says, I don't have to tell you squat. I'm just paraphrasing and cutting to the chase. And Shedeur, I believe in his press conference today, said, look, let's stop the noise with that. He talked to us. We knew what was going on. Whether it was right or not, I don't know. And that'll bring us to another point down the line here of whether Todd Monken not being forthright about that when it's kind of crazy and you're wondering, well, why don't you just tell us that? And making up some baloney stories. I don't buy this story. Well, they came to me and told me that that Shedeur had been getting more reps recently, and nobody is buying that crap, right? But Jacob, what did you think of what we saw in our time at training camp this past Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, nothing nothing big, just, some good wide receivers plays. They've been looking good outside of Judy, which is interesting. We'll get to that later. But, I think Bond, Concepcion, Boston, even Tillman, Wallace, Floria, all these guys have been making some good plays. Quarterbacks weren't awful. They weren't the best either. They were about mediocre. And, a couple of dropped interceptions. Want to see those get caught. But some good, surprisingly good plays by some of the corners. The not the expected ones, right? Of course, Ward and Campbell, but some of the more lower in the depth chart corners, and we need to see those plays, as many as possible from those corners, because we need some of these corners to step up, whoever it is. But other than that, nothing much, nothing different.
Right. Yeah. I mean, Grant Delpit dropped what would have been, I think, a pick six off of Shedeur Sanders. It was right in his hands, but I guess as the saying goes, that's why they're not playing wide receiver and they're playing in the defensive secondary because they can't catch the damn ball. And D'Angelo Ross has had a pretty good camp so far, I would say. They're going to need some guys to step up because, Damari Mathis? If I'm getting correct,
Yes.
Make sure I'm saying the name. I believe, did I read he's done for the season? He got carted off yesterday.
Yeah, leg injury.
So there goes that guy. And I believe someone who had been stepping into that position or in his role, Herring, may have also left today injured for the Browns. So they're thin. They are thin in the defensive secondary. They need to remain healthy, and we'll get around to that point after we talk or in conjunction with a discussion about the wide receiver room and one wide receiver in particular, an idea that Mike had suggested about how that could possibly work out or how you might make that work for you if you are the Browns. Todd Monken, after Saturday's practice, talked to, I believe, on Cleveland Browns Daily, and he's confirmed this, and he reaffirmed it and talked about it today in his press conference this afternoon. He said one quarterback's going to start week 1 of the preseason. One quarterback is going to start preseason 2. Whichever one starts week 1, the other will start week 2 of the preseason. So in this instance, now we're looking at it. Watson will start this week against the Bears. Shedeur will start week 2 against the Bills. The question was asked during the press conference, will the quarterback who doesn't start play in this game, being the Bears game? Todd Monken said, yes, the one that doesn't start will play the third quarter. That would mean that what we should look for on Saturday is Deshaun Watson getting a half, Shedeur Sanders getting the third quarter. Todd Monken went on to say we'd like to have these guys basically get into a rhythm. And I think he said he would like to have them have an opportunity to see some different circumstances. I believe he said something, a 2-minute drill. Yeah, he said one's going to start this week, one's going to start next week, and we're going to play them about a half each. I'd like to see a quarterback play a half and get a 2-minute. We're going to do everything we can to get a 2-minute and for the half, and we're going to try to do the exact same thing the next week. So it brings me to a thought I had, and I was already anticipating this. So this week, Deshaun Watson is starting. He's going to play with the first team. There's a question about how long the first team offensive line is going to be in there. And essentially, Todd Monken is like, we're not going to feed our quarterback to the wolves. But he said, look, if Chicago's keeping their starters on defense in there through the third quarter, we're not going to keep our guys into the third quarter. But point being, they're not just going to stick him in there with all backups and bums and guys who are going to be picking up garbage next week, as the people who were pissed off during the LA Rams preseason game last year with Shador. These guys aren't even on a roster. Like, well, neither are the guys on the defensive line for the Rams. So what are we talking about here, folks? They all sucked, quite frankly. Mm-hmm. They're going to go into the Bills week. And normally the joint practices, they always have been a matter of you play your starters and get most of your really quote-unquote good work in during the practices. And then in the game, neither team was playing their starters. At least that's the way it's been over the past few seasons with Kevin Stefanski. So are you guys to understand, or should I come to think that basically, even though Sanders is going to be the starter next week, or supposedly, of course, it's subject to change, is he actually going to get to play the first team during the week of joint practice? Or is Todd Monken sabotaging this? I'm sorry to say, is he going to give Deshaun Watson all these looks against the ones, and then Shador's going to have to go in there with the second string? And yeah, he'll be playing against the second string, but basically you're saying, I'm favoring this. I'm already showing you where I'm going here. Jacob, what do you think?
I think when we get to the Bills joint practice, if Shador's playing with the first team, that's pretty obvious that that's in preparation for the game. But if we see Deshaun there, it might be the writing on the wall. And I think depending on who we see might depend on how Deshaun plays this upcoming preseason game. If Deshaun puts up a stinker, I think there's a higher chance that Shador will be the quarterback for the first team reps against Buffalo in joint practice. But if Deshaun plays well, then he might be the first team quarterback in the joint practice.
Drew, we'll go around to you and then we'll get to you, Mike. Drew, how do you see it?
I mean, I'm right there with Jacob. I think that if Deshaun plays well on Saturday, then it screams he's probably going to get more first team reps during the joint practice, and possibly Shador will play with the twos against the Bills defense. So, I mean, it all comes down to what we see in 3 days on Saturday, whatnot, 3 days, whatever. And I hate it, but I understand the sentiment.
Sure.
Like, I'm not going to drag Todd Monken for doing what he's supposed to do, because under Kevin Stefanski, we'd already know what's going on. We know Deshaun would probably be day one starter. We'd probably see Shador here and there during the preseason, and Deshaun wouldn't play. So the whole preseason would be, Dylan Gabriel and Taylor Green if it was still under Kevin Stefanski. So I'm more thankful that at least Todd Monken is going a whole half with Deshaun and a quarter with Shador, and then flip it over the next game and give Shador a whole half and Deshaun a quarter. I'd rather see that and get these guys actually prepped than, okay, you get 5 snaps. All right, your day is over.
Right.
That's what kills me.
Absolutely. Mike, where do you kind of agree with all of this, or what are your thoughts and sentiment on the idea, hey, during the week. I mean, your dog is like, this is a snooze fest right here.
I do want to apologize about the dog quickly.
No, I think it adds to the show. This is the dog. We're talking about the dog pound, and we literally have a dog snoring in the background. I think this is kind of appropriate. But what do you kind of see that as
I've got a
something?
question. I've got a question though. So who's going to be playing the fourth quarter?
Probably.
Is this going to be Gabriel?
Probably Taylor Green.
No, it'll probably be Dylan. It'll probably be Dylan Gabriel. They're talking on the radio about will they possibly try to hide Taylor Green so
that's
that they
what
can.
I've heard. I've heard that.
I've heard that too.
Yeah, what I've heard. Shout out to my big Browns guy I go to for most of my news, Quincy Carrier. He was saying,
You don't come to us. This is very disappointing.
I mean, Quincy Carrier
he
makes
videos. He makes multiple videos a day. You guys do a podcast once a week, so.
Oh, but I'm right here in the house with you. You don't need to go to the video. You can come to me.
I still talk to you. It's not like but I'm not.
You can be here
together. You're in the middle of work. What if you're in the middle of work and I come up to you and I'm like, hey, I need, and then what I've heard.
I don't know. All right, go ahead. No.
He said that they might do on their initial cut of 53, have 4 quarterbacks, and they sneak, and then about like halfway through the game week leading up to our inaugural game against the Jaguars, cut Taylor Green and then sneak him onto the practice squad when people have already claimed, like used most of their roster claims, and then bring up a guy who they put on the practice squad, bring him back up to the roster, who they know they can get away with building him down there, and they're trying to hide Taylor Green as much as possible. So I think in the entire preseason he might get 2 drives between 3 games.
Yeah, you don't want him to be looking like DTR did in the Hall of Fame game a few years ago. You know, we'll never have a chance there. Yep. I mean, but Mike, back to you, just to give you let you answer the question there. Do you kind of get that same thought process of what I'm seeing and wondering about, okay, fine, so you're going to do this flip-flop thing, but what's going to happen during the joint practices? And how much does that matter?
I think it all depends on who plays better in that game. If Shador goes out and plays better in 1 quarter than Watson does in a half, maybe Shador will get more time in the joint practice. Whereas if Watson stands out, then I think Watson's going to get the majority of the reps during the practice. Because what you'll say is that Shador and Watson will split reps basically during the preseason games, but they'll give most of the practice time to Watson.
Yep. Yeah, I feel like it's a fake. It's not as bad as it was maybe say last year, right? That was that was a load of crap what was going on. We all knew it was totally slanted. I don't understand what the heck that guy was, our last coach was doing, that he gave no time to Joe Flacco when he needed to be building chemistry with the team and the receivers and the line, and you didn't give him any time on the field, you jack. And what a cluster fudge. We thought it was I think we could feel better that it's not as much of a cluster fudge.
It's like the Browns spending the whole preseason, right, having Watson and Shador taking all the reps and then giving Dylan Gabriel
right, exactly,
1 to start the season. Like
that would be that. Yes, exactly. That would be the same kind of stupidity. Jacob, we did see, and I think they had another bit of a dust up. Spencer Fano and Jared Verse got into a little kerfuffle when we were at the training camp. I saw a helmet fly off. It was some heated battles, and then Taylor Green guys got the defensive line to jump multiple times at the end of the practice when Jacob and I were there, and Spencer Fano is dancing. And I think that was good stuff there. Jacob, you might have got – so first of all, what do you think about Spencer Fano and how he's playing so far, and how much has Jared Verse been valuable in helping him develop already? Do you think that Myles Garrett would have been helpful in the same way?
Yeah. Okay, so I think Fano is going to be – I think, we have to be patient with him for the first season. But I think he has a real bright future in Cleveland ahead of him as our left tackle for many years to come, I hope. Because I have seen a lot of encouraging things out of him. He had the scuffle with Jared Verse, and then on the next rep holds him up against Jared Verse's iconic bull rush. I guess iconic. That's his go-to move, right? Jared Verse
Right,
goes
right.
right towards the bull rush, and Fano just does a great job of just holding him there, not letting him get to the quarterback. And that's really encouraging. And I hope for Fano to have, do great things. And I do think Jared Verse has helped. We heard the reports earlier in camp of Verse, going with Fano, talking about doing some stuff. And then I think I like Verse, Verse kind of, talking with him, taking jabs at each other. I think it's all, fun little punches, almost between friends, right? Almost like jabs between friends. And it's all friendly competition. And I like that. I like to see, Fano not just be quiet about it, he's given back. And then I think Verse has been more helpful to Fano than Garrett would have been because he is a worse player of almost objectively. I'm not gonna listen to an argument Verse is better than Garrett. Not even Andrew Barry thought that. He had first round picks, but Verse, if Garrett was there, he would just be blown by Fano, 90% of reps, and Fano might get discouraged. And I think, but besides just the play aspect of Ben battling, where Garrett would just dominate, as opposed to Verse like being more balanced, I think just the Verse has been more helpful. And
he's been a better teammate.
better
Would you say?
teammate, better teacher as well. And the thing with Garrett is, I remember, I think it was last offseason, he was talking maybe with Alex Wright or Isaiah McGuire, one of the two. He was just doing like he was like saying, "Hey, do this, this, and this," and they were like, "We can't do that. We don't like. I can't do that. I don't have the physical ability to do that because Garrett is just so physically talented." While Verse is has had to actually figure more stuff out as a more he's still a top whatever percent athlete, but he's on a similar level as other guys in the NFL like Fano, you know and like that. So it's been more helpful because he the points land better.
Right. No, definitely. He is taking on a role that Myles Garrett didn't really embrace. That's not who he is. Being a leader, a mentor is not who he is. Um, with that transitioning, Myles Garrett, although they're saying it's only precautionary, he's having some swelling in his knee and he hasn't been practicing. Guys, one, do you think it's a bit of hullabaloo, of nothing burgers or a bunch of hullabaloo, not to even pay attention to it that he hasn't been practicing? Is it nothing? Is it something? And do you guys see a world where potentially Myles Garrett maybe isn't as healthy as he's been and the Rams don't do as well as they expected, and it could turn into actually a real gift to the Browns in terms of the draft pick? Whereas last year we were thinking that the Jags were going to absolutely suck, and they end up winning 13 games. And here we think the Rams are going to the Super Bowl, but who knows what could happen with a few injuries? Mike, what do you think?
First of all, Myles Garrett's the kind of guy who could turn up 3-4 days before the season.
Right.
Ready to go.
Yeah.
So them holding him out for them is probably not that big of an issue. Like, it's whatever, as long as he's ready for they travel to Australia, don't they?
Yes, they do. They play that Wednesday game, I believe.
So that's going to be interesting. Will he go on the trip? Will they hold him out until maybe the second game of the season?
Hold on, let me fact check when the Rams play their home opener.
Well, it's not the home opener. I think they played the
opener. Sorry,
the opener. Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure the Wednesday game's supposed to be what the Thursday games were in the previous years, where the Super Bowl winner hosts.
No, well, if it's in Australia, they're how many out? They're like already into the next day.
They're like 10 hours ahead of me, so that's going to be like 14, 15 hours ahead of you guys.
Right. So they're going to play it. It'll be Wednesday here, but it's Thursday there. And then the Thursday night game, I believe, is Seattle. I hope that I'm correct. Jacob, you continue fact checking. I mean, Mike, I don't want to cut you off there if you had more thoughts on that. If not,
I don't think it's a big issue for them. I think he could turn up a few days before the season as long as he's keeping himself conditioned properly.
Right.
It's not a problem. I know he's joining a new defense, but Miles Garrett's Miles Garrett.
Exactly. It's not that complicated.
I am correct, actually. They're going to
you
play
are?
on a Thursday. Yep. That's what they're playing on a Thursday.
Well, wait a second.
What
They're
time?
playing. It's September 10th is a Thursday at 8:35 p.m.
So they're playing the game on Friday, their time.
Oh, okay. Wait. So then wait.
Yeah.
What is the schedule for week 1? Which bozos
week
play?
1, Wednesday. That's what I'm telling you is that the Wednesday game will.
You're
be
right. New England. Okay, that's why they did it. Jacob, this is why you don't come to me, guys. That he has just proven why he doesn't come talk to me for his Browns information. It's because I know nothing. I pulled a gold hammer and shot from the hip, and was completely wrong. So Jacob, kudos to you, sir. Kudos to you. Well, don't worry. We won't get to watch the Thursday game unless they offer it up to other people because it's on Netflix, so they can go and kiss my suckers.
Well, honestly, that's where I come in.
Oh, well, right. I know. That's what I got. That's what friends are for.
Yeah. So the Wednesday Patriots Seahawks, Thursday Rams 49ers, and then
there's Sunday is the regular slate.
And then Sunday, everything the same. That is how they are doing that.
Okay. And Drew, what did you think? Get your thoughts here on this whole Myles Garrett thing, injury, something, nothing, whether it's possible that maybe there's going to be health issues, or are you kind of I'm not buying it. He's fine. Don't worry about it. And he'll do his thing.
I think it's nothing, to be honest.
Okay.
I think it's just one of those things where, again, he's going to be held out till about a couple weeks before the season begins. He'll tear it up like always. And I just don't see as that. Now, I will say that he is getting a bit older. He's now, 30 years old, becoming 30.
Oh, yes. He's an old man. He's an old man.
I'm 30, so I guess I'm just not built like he is. but once you get to 30, though, in a sports world, that's when injuries start to happen. So I'm still going to say it's a decent trade from the Browns because, again, you got a lot younger for a guy almost of the kind of same caliber as him and Micah Parsons.
Right.
Because he had the better pressure rate of the two.
Yes.
Last season. So again, you're getting a very high caliber defensive end for a high caliber defensive end. So it's not for me to worry about. He plays for the Rams now. I could care less what goes on with him over there. Yeah. So
no. Drew. Sorry. I'm gonna have to grammatically correct you.
I couldn't care less.
Couldn't care less because you could care less. Well, okay, but you couldn't care less. Let's give that.
Listen, I went to one of the worst high schools in the state of Ohio. So
hey, I went to public school as well. And as you like to make fun of, I went to Kent. Well, or people who went to the University of Akron would like to say, I went to Kent State, where allegedly we can't read and we can't write. So you got that going for you.
And then the Akron football team can't do anything because of academic failure.
That is true, and they're going to have players, a season ticket holder, scripting the first drive with the head coach. So that's hilarious.
You think Akron's smart?
All right. We'll move on there. Okay.
But the thing is, it's a timeline thing as well. Like Jared Verse fits perfectly into the Browns timeline.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Say you'll wait until the new stadium in 2029. Yeah, all our draft picks will be in their final year of their rookie contract. Verse would have signed an extension by then, and he'll probably be in his prime because he's 5 years younger than Miles.
Exactly.
So what's the comparison? Who's going to be better at that point? Verse is probably going to be better than Myles Garrett at that point. Because
at that point,
he's going to deteriorate Miles in the next 3 years. Jared Verse is probably going to get stronger, become a better all-round defensive lineman, and by you get to that timeline, Verse is probably going to be worth the trade.
I agree, and we're gonna have to look. We'll have to keep track
Yeah.
of the draft capital and what we've done.
Plus, we've got
And
is it a first, a second, and a third round pick or something on top of it or something? We got.
I know we've got next year's one.
First.
Next year's first from the Rams, and
Yeah.
it feels like we've got
Second and third?
something. I'm not certain. If somebody wants to check that and confirm the draft picks, we can do that. I had this thought while we were discussing this. Is it possible that we're talking about Garrett and maybe being turning 30 and potential decline just with age? Is there a world in which, like, he wins Defensive Player of the Year, and then they win the Super Bowl, and he's the Super Bowl MVP?
It's a first, a second, and a third. So it's
Okay,
you guys, second the year after, then the third the following year.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 27, 28, and 29. So
Okay.
they spread it out.
But do you guys see a world in which he never sees his decline because he rides off into the sunset with a Super Bowl victory this year?
I mean,
Or do you think his ego?
it.
Do you think his ego would get in the way and he wants to crush all the sack records or something along those lines?
Yeah, no, he definitely wants all the sack records.
The other thing with Miles as well, being on the Rams, he's probably going to have to do less.
Well, and that's what we joked about.
Whereas if he stayed on the Browns, he's probably going to have to do more, so that's going to affect him the older he gets. Whereas he might actually be able to prolong his career on the Rams because he's probably going to have to do less.
Well, and he has a way better offense too that will keep him off the field and
exactly.
Well, right, but that might actually hurt his stats.
I don't think it's more so about stats. I think it's just more just going for the trophy. It's going for the Lombardi.
Right, I get it. I get it. I definitely get
Especially if they bring back Aaron Donald, which I'm pretty convinced they're going to do.
I think I'm convinced they are as well.
Man, screw that. Either you retire or you don't. Are you in or are you out? Let's cut the crap here, guys.
One more opportunity for another ring. Why retire with one when you can retire with two?
No, what I'm saying, and no, I agree with you, but on principle, make up your mind, okay? Make up your mind.
He don't even have to play as a defensive end. He could be a holder for the kicker. He could be just on special teams. He don't have to do anything.
Okay, well, that's fair. That is a fair thing.
Yeah.
Another thing that came out.
Hold on, I need to get my word in about the Garrett injury real quick.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. I thought
you did the reverse. So
okay, yes, sir. So go ahead. Yeah.
I just real quickly want to say, even if it does affect him at the beginning of the season a little bit, he did not have a fast start to the season last year, and he broke the sack record.
Yeah.
So I think there's nothing to worry about there.
Okay,
That's all.
What you're saying is it's basically a nothing burger there.
Yeah.
Yesterday, the Browns released their first unofficial depth chart.
Yep.
And I know we're going to talk a little bit about the wide receivers because I think that's a great discussion there.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it was a big joke because at the time, yes, or
on a depth chart.
Yeah, something apparently never seen. Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders.
Why don't they just wait? Is there some rule about this? Because waited until today.
I'm not sure. That's a great question, Mike. I'm not sure.
You have to announce it 72 hours before the game or something. So the Browns had to announce it.
Right. I don't know for sure, Mike. There probably is some timeline that they had to put it out, and I'm glad Monken. I know it's kind of joke. It's become another thing for people to laugh about when it comes to the Browns, but I actually appreciate that. I think he is taking this decision seriously when it comes to the quarterback, so I don't hate it. It looks kind of silly, but I'm not worried about that. Let's see what happens on the field. Currently, the first team is wide receiver. You've got Jerry Jeudy, Denzel Boston, and Casey Concepcion. Tight end is Fannin. Running back is Judkins. The offensive line goes Spencer Fano at left tackle, Zion Johnson at left guard, Elton Jenkins at center, Tevin Jenkins at right guard, Titus Howard at right tackle. The backups in the wide receiver room, second team Tylan Wallace, as well as Cedric Tillman and Isaiah Bond. Cole Wilson, I don't think we've even seen anything of him. that he was mentioned as a possible breakout in training camp because he's got the speed. They compared him to a famous Cleveland Brown of days in the past, Gerald Ice Cube McNeil. Gage Larvadan would be, I'm sorry, I'm skipping over a column here. So the third team would be Cole Wilson, Gage Larvadan, and let's see, and Malachi Corley. We've talked about this amongst us, who we think our top wide receivers are. But Jacob, why don't you give us your thoughts on the wide receiver room?
Yeah.
What you think who you think the top wide receivers are and should make the squad, and also give us your thoughts on what should happen and what will happen, kind of, if you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying. Yeah. So I think the top four is pretty obvious to me. It's going to be Boston, Concepcion, Judy, and Bond. I think about in that order that I listed them. I think Denzel Boston has shown himself to be the best receiver in training camp. Concepcion, I think he's going to play a lot of slot, but I still think he is the second best. And then Judy, I think, will be the third guy. Bond will be the fourth guy that kind of rotates in there with Judy and the rest. So I think top four. I think it's going to be those guys. I don't see a world where it isn't like outside of extremes, like an injury or some off the field thing. But from right now, those are the top four pretty convincingly. Then I think there's two spots left with four people fighting for it. I think there is Cedric Tillman, Malachi Corley, Tylan Wallace, Gage Larvadan fighting for 5 and 6. I have my projection.
Don't forget about Luke Floria.
I don't think he's. I think he's fighting for the practice squad.
I agree. All right, go ahead. Yeah,
I think my 5 and 6. I like Cedric Tillman and Tylan Wallace. Now, I have Tylan Wallace has the edge over Corley mainly because of returning, but it's kind of strange with the returning. Andrew Berry has gone on record to say that Concepcion will return punts, but on the depth chart he is not listed. Whether that's a preseason depth chart and those who will be the people returning kicks and punts in the preseason, and then because they'd probably, I wouldn't imagine Concepcion is going to return anything in the preseason, but so that's what I think. But either way, I think Tylan Wallace has also just made better plays, more plays than Corley and Larvadan, and I have Corley, Larvadan, and I guess also I'll throw in Luke Floria on the practice squad.
Yeah, I don't know if Corley. I don't know if there'll be how many players they can put. Yeah. I forget how many players get on the practice squad.
I think it's 16. I'm pretty sure.
I know they increased the number, but that's interesting.
I think it's 16. The last time I checked, it was 16.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So then the what you were hinting towards, I think there is a possibility we get to the trade deadline. Judy's not looking the best. Bond is showing a lot of good stuff, as well as Concepcion and Boston. I think we might see a trade deadline move that gets rid of Jerry Jeudy, and he gets the Amari Cooper treatment. Where he's not doing so hot, so we get rid of him and let the younger guys play. Possibly call up whoever from the practice squad to be our sixth guy and all that. And that's just kind of what I see with Jerry Jeudy. I believe he will be on the roster to start the season. But to end the season, there's much more of a possibility that is not the case.
Right. I gotcha. Guys, where do you stand on the wide receiver depth chart? Mike, what do you think? Do you kind of echo the same thoughts as where Jacob is as to what we think will happen and what we think could or should happen?
I pretty much agree with Jacob, to be honest. But do you think there's any chance that they trade him earlier? Could he get toxic if he's not getting enough action? And they just decide, actually, we're going to go full blown with the rookies, and we're just better off moving him.
Yeah, I think
maybe for some guy on the defensive side, like a corner.
Yeah, that's possible.
Just decide, actually, he's not worth the hassle. We want to give the young guys as many opportunities as possible. And you just move them before the season, like.
I think a trade window for Judy is between starting week 3 or 4 and up until the deadline. I think that's where you could see a Jerry Judy move happen. I don't think anything before the first 3 or 4 weeks will happen because they still want to see Judy kind of get into a rhythm in the season. They might not even be considering anything until week 5 or 6. But I think at the earliest it's week 4, week 5, like up to those games that they trade Judy.
Might depend a lot on health of the Browns and health of other teams. Drew, where do you come out on this wide receiver room? Are you again, or are we all in the same kind of thought process about this?
I mean, yeah, just for the fact that there's a very good world where Judy does get traded before at least week 7.
I mean, because
and the fact that we saw, what was it today, where he had the ball completely in his hands and it just went right through the gap of his hand. It's like, what are we doing? That's the most catchable ball, and it's like you forget the part where you bring it to the chest.
It was over the shoulder. Catch the stupid thing.
Yeah.
I've got a tinfoil hat moment right here. I've got a conspiracy theory. Didn't this guy go on a stream on TikTok and do one of these?
Yeah.
How many passes? I'd love to know how many passes has he dropped for Shedeur and how many has he dropped for Watson?
Well, and the funny thing is too, if you watch the videos, every time Watson throws him the ball, he catches it. But when there's multiple times where Judy gets the ball from Shedeur, especially like on a deep ball, it's like, oh, oopsie, right through the hands.
He does that Olay BS.
Is he trying to sabotage Shedeur's chance of being QB because he wants to play Watson? So he's
that's it. Like I said, it's a tinfoil hat moment right here.
I'm wearing it too. I believe he's trying his hardest to sabotage Shedeur Sanders. I believe it because I think only the drop balls that Judy's had during training camp is from Shedeur.
I'd love to look at the stats. I would definitely like to know that.
And that's what ESPN Cleveland needs. Instead of the QB tracker, they need the Jerry Judy drop counter. How many balls has Judy dropped from Shedeur, and how many has he dropped from Deshaun? And how many has Dylan Gabriel thrown 15 feet short?
No, I look, I'm going to.
Big Chops would need a pay rise if you did that.
Hey, did you guys hear that he got hit by a linebacker yesterday?
I did.
And Andrew Siciliano was on Cleveland Browns Daily when it happened. Oh no, down goes Chops. Oh, but he gets back. Will there be a quarterback tracker today? And but he's getting back. That was the best thing ever. That might have been the best Andrew Siciliano call I have ever heheard. It is his best call ever.
Shouldn't he be able to get back up quickly? I mean, he's built like a linebacker too.
I think he's slimmed down. He slimmed down a little bit, you know. No, I got nothing. I saw it was kind of cool at the training camp, getting to see people. Jacob, I think he did pretty well. He was able to get some autographs, and there it is, Carson Schlesinger rookie card, and he had. And you could tell them the story. So, first, I'll set it up a little bit. For those of you, I mean, you guys, Drew, you haven't been to training camp this year.
No, I haven't.
You did not. And Mike, obviously, you're not here. So,
I'm in spirit. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, I had been told prior to this by our good friends Lana and Lysandra that they have a sign up that says the age limit is 16. So Jacob, you just snuck in there, although you can kind of share your thoughts on how you probably could get by, even maybe if we went back next year, you probably could sneak in as long as you're not growing another mustache.
Not call it shave it, you know.
Right. Exactly. Although when I said that since I'm your twin, I look pretty young. If I'm wearing a hat, you can't see all the gray hair, but you said I was wrinkly. So anyway, They say to line up in this one corner. You have to be in line, they say, by 3:20. Well, kids start lining up way before then. You went over there at about what, 2:50 or
Yeah,
2:55?
about 30 minutes early.
Right. The practice starts at 1:30. But Jacob goes in line, and then by the end of practice, they bring them all out onto the field and they line them up, and then guys go around and sign autographs. There's only a certain number of people who are signing autographs, so there's no guarantee you're not gonna get everybody, and I don't know if they're all gonna make it all the way around. So Jacob, I'll let you kind of take it from there.
Yeah, from there, I'll start to when we were getting in line. There is a woman in front of us who looks about to be in her early 20s. Employee asks them, "Hey, how old are you?" 17. They get ushered. They have someone
They get ushered
enter
away
it.
from the line.
They said you're gonna have to. You can't have autograph, and she didn't fight it. She didn't fight it. I suspect that she knew what she was doing, and she was going 17 as a conservative estimate.
Right. Now, what did you say? How many piercings and tattoos did she have for someone who's under 18 and can't have tattoos?
like 6 piercings and like a whole sleeve of tattoos.
I was gonna say, was it like full arm sleeve tattoos?
There was a good amount. There was like several on the arm, some,
This is like The Simpsons, the first episode with The Simpsons where Bart goes to get a tattoo on the Christmas. They're like, "How old are you, son?" 18, sir. And he shows them like his fake license. Okay, get in the chair. It's like you can't. Anyway, Go on, Jake.
So, anyways, that's the story there. So, anyways, they do it nice setup. They set up almost like a big C shape. You got, a line and
a line down one end line, and then down the sideline, and then another one.
And then another one, right? So it allows good access for all the players, right? So I actually get in a really good spot. I can see pretty close to me 2 groups of guys. There's a group of 3 that was Carson Schlesinger, Quinshawn Judkins, and third young player I can't quite remember. Fano was with the offensive line.
Okay.
Actually, we walked past them. They were
okay.
To do some. They were running up and down the field.
Okay.
But it was another player. They didn't end up signing stuff. But so they were close, and then we were by the D linemen with Verse, Graham, all those guys were close to us. So I was in a pretty good
awesome.
spot.
That's awesome.
D linemen didn't end up doing any signings, so I believe 6 guys ended up being the signees, and I got the first signing that I got, which I will show off here, is on this helmet, Spencer Fano on the top here.
Okay, got it.
So he's good. So to the left of me, there's a kid. That's the first guy I believe Fano went up to. Quinshawn's coming around. He's kind of, looking around, and he goes to the kid next to me, and I was like, that's all right. Because, because obviously, Quinshawn's like, they're trying to manage stuff, like who's going to be with who where. But anyways, Quinshawn skips me, but I'm like, I'm not mad about it. He's doing the best he can to get as many autographs down. So then Fano comes to me, or Fano, it's Fano, right? That's what we've established.
I think it's Fano, according to
it's Fano, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. So Fano comes to me, and he's doing mine. So then next, pretty soon after, I get the Schlesinger signature, which was really cool. That's definitely my favorite. That's really good. And then coming down is Shador Thander. He started on the opposite side. He ended up getting everyone who was all the kids there. He ended up signing everyone. So
that's amazing.
And then so Shador's coming to me. I have his card. I have a card of his in my hand, and he puts a hand on my shoulder and says, "I can't sign that for you because apparently you can. If you get a signature directly on a trading card, you can lift the signature, stamp it, and use it to put it on other merchandise like
so a few
jerseys.
Bad apples ruined it.
Yes, and they can sell it as, oh, he signed this jersey when he didn't. He signed a card, but he goes to the kid next to me, right? He's right next to me. So I was like, oh, okay, can you sign my helmet then? He's like, yeah, sure. So then he finished signing the kid's ball, and then he signed my helmet. Really good guy, really chill about it. Was honest, but and he it was an incredible experience. First time meeting Shador, only time meeting Shador. 10 out of 10. You know, he was very. It was a very good experience.
He's a good kid. He's a
He's
good young
definitely a
man.
good person. I don't like see him getting into any major controversies off the field.
It's more so the people that are yapping for him and on his behalf that make it ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Shador was the second signature on the helmet below Fano's. And then Dylan Sampson's going around. He's signing a few, but, you know, he doesn't eventually get around to me. Then, right at the end, Cedric Tillman's coming down my line. There's me and then the kid I'm next to, and then there's two kids next to us. Those two kids, they were younger. They didn't even know Thwessinger's name. There's no way they know who Cedric Tillman is. So they get the signature. They're about to go to the guy next to me. And the people who are doing the things, they're ushering off the field because we were there for like 30 minutes.
30, yeah, it was 30 to 40 minutes after. Yep.
So Tillman goes running off, and we're like, it was a bummer. But, you know, Tillman, it's not like I missed out on, you know, like Jared Verse or anything, or Mason Graham.
Right.
But I was like, you know, these kids don't even know who Cedric Tillman is. They were just reading the name on the back of the jersey, while me and the kid next to him who actually know who Cedric Tillman is doesn't get anything. Well, I was like, whatever.
Well, that's amazing, and I was really just pleased. I like the way they set it up. In theory, and I really do, I like that they have limited it to the kids. And they're not letting greedy people try and get in there to get these autographs, because that's the type of people. We saw it at a game. A guy had all these 8x10s at the game. The first game we went to in D.C. a few years ago and saw Bumson play, there was a guy with 8x10s for all these players trying to get him autographed. You know the guy's selling them.
This is what I was going to say. This is the problem. The adults are there to make money. The kids are less likely to go out there to try.
Well, right. Well, I think that
kind of makes sense.
Oh, absolutely. I think, quite frankly, Jacob getting the Schlesinger rookie card signed is more valuable than possibly Sanders. Unfortunately, I'd love to be wrong. Please let me be wrong.
So how did Jacob get Schlesinger to sign the card? But should always
he probably is. It doesn't.
It's a knowledge thing. I heard someone say, I don't remember who, but I think wasn't it when we were at dinner. After that, someone at the table said that Shador wouldn't have known about that if it weren't for his dad.
Probably Nate said that. We had dinner. We met up in Canton with my best friend Tommy and his family, and Nate Bope, who's been on the podcast with us, and I do the podcast The Prospects of the Land with him and Taven McCulley. He met up with us. As Kenny Mayne from the old Sports Centers days would say, he's tall. He's a tall lad. But we were having a good conversation about this whole thing. No, just it was fantastic. It really was, and I'm that. All in all, a great experience. I was trying to make some connections for us, guys. Talk to some folks. I saw our buddy. I saw Zach Jackson. Thankful for him to be on the show last week, and it was great. Did you notice that it was he said the same thing on like 92.3 that he had said on our show, and we had posted clips of it, and yet, you know, other people are attributing it to him on other shows. I'm like, you know, you could have heard that first if you'd been watching Going nuCLEar.
Yeah, that's very true.
I mean, we did have that, guys. We are going to, and I'll put this out there right now. The plan is Saturday, Browns play the Bears. I believe the kickoff is on or about 1:00 Eastern time. We are planning on being here with you to watch along, although we cannot show the video. We will be watching along, talking about what's happening in the game, and hopefully we'll have a few other people joining us. And one thing that I wanted to bring up that will give us a smile, even though we might be a little bit down about the quarterback situation. A good friend, former co-host of Going nuCLEar, and hopefully we'll have her on sometimes here throughout the season and whenever, Megan Donovan. She said, whenever I'm having a bad day, I just think about Juan Thornhill being unemployed, and it brings me out of my funk. Here's a shout out to Jog Thornhill. Megan, that is so funny. I literally laughed out loud when I read that. So
I
beautiful.
approve that message. Let her know that. I approve the message.
Absolutely.
And I said you should have added Andrew Sendejo into that too.
Right. That was pretty brutal. There's going to be a lot to talk about with the Browns. This season could be quite the poop show. But we're going to have to wait and see. Let's let it all play out. The way Watson has been, he is injury prone.
Yeah.
And his play has not been good, and we haven't seen him play in a game. And one thing I wanted to bring up here, I didn't want to forget about this because I thought this was interesting. So he's talking today to the media, and someone asked him a question about his play relative to Houston. So let me bring this up and see if we can't play it, and then I want to make a couple comments on it. We were discussing it before the show.
In your memory bank and move forward.
Deshaun, when you get back on the field, like in your mind, you envision yourself playing exactly how you did in Houston. Do you think that you may have to change your style a little bit, just given injuries and the years?
Yeah, I mean, I'm different, man. I think ever since I've been here, early on, I think, bringing up Houston was cool, but I'm 30 now, so I think I had some injuries and things like that, so my game has definitely changed, but the mentality and how I play and what I how I approach it doesn't. So I don't know. I think just going out there and just playing free and let my instincts just take over. So I think that's the biggest thing. And I've always had a coach. My coach O'Brien always told me, I always trust my instincts. So I think that's the biggest thing. You just go out there, play free, and let the game come to me.
So he mentions his instinct. And then it was funny because he says, I've always had a coach. Well, Coach O'Brien, like, he didn't always have a coach. Coach O'Brien in Houston, not Coach Stefanski, basically let him just use his instincts. Let me translate that for you in my mind and based upon what we know. Play with your instincts. I'm going to hold your hand because you can't read a defense. And you're going on some gut feeling. Am I missing anything here? And if that's the case, what are we doing? What on earth are we doing here? It looked like, again, he says, I play with my instinct. Well, Kevin Stefanski wanted him to go out and do certain things and not be a turnover machine and play within a scheme, and he couldn't do it for multiple reasons, physically and mentally. So am I missing something here, or is that just not hilarious, guys?
No, I find it funny, and I told you this before the show. A few years ago when I was on a fantasy football show that I used to do, we spoke about, Deshaun Watson. And, this was, again, back when Watson was a top 4 QB at Houston. I mentioned the only reason why he looks so good is because Bill O'Brien is telling him what the defense is showing him. Bill O'Brien is giving him everything he needs to know on how to beat this defense. And he is like holding his hand essentially. And that's why Watson looked so good. Coming to Cleveland now, nobody's holding his hand. You're expected to do the job because, well, you're an NFL vet now. You've been in the league for multiple years. You should be able to know how to read defenses at this point, especially with what Bill O'Brien has done with you. You should be able to read a defense and know what they're giving you and be able to beat them. But for some reason, he still likes to throw in triple coverage. He still likes to eat 15 sacks plus a game, it feels like. He doesn't know what he's doing out there. He looks so lost because he's not having his hand held anymore.
Right.
Nobody's holding his hand to help him out, and it's leading to sacks. It's leading to him scrambling and getting sacked. It's leading to interceptions, overthrows, underthrows, throws where we don't even know where it's going. So it shows that he was never really an NFL quarterback. It's just he got lucky with the QB or with the guy he had in Houston that babied him and helped him through everything.
So if that's the case, guys, let me ask you this. What's the difference then between Watson, a 10-year veteran who can't do this, and a second-year player who allegedly is having some similar struggles with interpreting defenses, reading it right off the bat. Why not help him and bring him along rather than put all your eggs in the basket of a 10-year vet who's shown he can't do that and physically might get knocked out after one game or one quarter or one play? And then what have you done? You haven't prepared the other guy. Is this just them sophisticated tanking like Tony Grossi used the term? Mike, what do you think?
Does it just tell everyone what we're all thinking? Like that? Actually, we're not all thinking this. That they just don't believe in Shedeur. Like
I believe that there is I believe that they think there are certain things he needs to improve upon. They may simply feel, look, he's not ready quite yet, so we'd like to get Deshaun in there as the veteran and keep working with Sanders. It's possible, but here's what we've all discussed is that the best case scenario, the two best case scenarios that we've discussed, and I think we can agree on this. Jacob, I'll let you weigh on it because you're not in on the group chat, but either both Watson and Shedeur stink. So we're drafting high and we get our quarterback in the draft. Or my thought is Sanders takes the bull by the horns and shows he can lead us in the future, in future years, and you don't feel you have to draft a quarterback high. Jacob, do you kind of see those as the two best possible scenarios for the Browns?
Yeah, I think one's a little more likely than the other, and
they both stink, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. First option's more likely.
It's more likely, but it's not what I'd like to see. I think we could all agree we'd probably like it if Shedeur Sanders proved to be the guy, and then you're not spending your next high draft pick on a quarterback who is also an unproven commodity.
I've got a question for you, though, right? So if they both are not good enough to be a long-term QB1, so we invest in the draft, do the Browns keep one of them too as a backup? Decide they're actually just a backup quarterback. That's what their career is going to be.
No, they won't. Well, I know they won't keep Watson around because they're not going to. No, he is a pariah in this town. Nobody wants to see him, and no one. Or I've seen. I'm not saying no one. Let's face it. There's also another reason he's starting the preseason game in Chicago. Because they don't want to trot him out as the starter in Cleveland where he's going to get booed mercilessly if he makes a bad play, which is going to happen. So they're protecting him. They don't want it. The sooner he is gone from Cleveland, the better. He could win the Super Bowl and be the Super Bowl MVP, and I still wouldn't be loving him. I would love the team and the championship. I'm not giving him some kind of a special treatment. I'm not putting him in the Ring of Honor. I'm not giving him a statue. Screw that guy, okay? Do whatever. Fine. I'm rooting for the team. It's the name on the front of the jersey, not the name on the back.
What about Shedeur? Do you think he's either QB1 or gone, or do you reckon he would come back as a potential backup?
I believe there's a possibility they could keep him, but I believe they would want to move on from him and bring in another veteran to mentor him, a la Kirk Cousins with Mendoza.
Mm-hmm.
And you find one of those guys around. Hey, maybe it'll be Baker Mayfield. I mean, he can't come to a contract agreement down in Tampa.
Baker comes back on like a $6-7 million. There was a backup.
Yeah, he ain't doing that. That guy, he thinks thinks he's so good, and he needs to get paid wherever he goes. I don't know. This is going to be fun. So make sure we're going to have lots to talk about, and we will dissect and watch the game on Saturday. Stay tuned. We'll post on social media so that we can watch along with this poop show and see what happens. See how many pre-snap penalties we have. If Watson has no better command of the offense than Sanders reportedly during training camp, I really think they both had their problems. I could see, and if he plays poorly, that Monken has left himself wiggle room. He has left himself wiggle room, and I will share with you what I shared with you on Saturday. Darryl Ryder who is on 92.3 The Fan, he is blunt and honest. He said, now this was his thing, and he got people riled up on Saturday. This was because I don't think they knew everything that we found out later about the timeline of Monken telling them who's going to take QB1 reps, blah, 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 blah. He said something to the effect of, I think we found out who QB1 is today. And I also think we found out who QB2 is today. And there's going to be some fans who aren't happy about it. He was intimating that they really like, and he said there's people in the building who really like Dylan Gabriel. And that he is a good backup, actually. He knows he's not a starting quarterback in this league. He's a backup at best, and maybe a spot starter. And he has an ability. He is a computer processor, a supercomputer. He can understand the defenses, and he can figure all this stuff out quickly. The problem is, as Daryl pointed out, 7-on-7s he looks fine, but when you put a line in front of him, he can't see over it. It makes it a little bit more difficult to be a NFL quarterback. It was great insight. I don't even know how much insight it was, but it was very, very interesting to talk to him and hear him say that. I talked to Justin Cooper, JJ Coop 25 from ESPN Cleveland, and I said to him, dude, I don't like how this is looking. And he said, yeah, neither do most of us. I think it's pretty clear in this town. There are people who believe. Let's not get things twisted. I think someone like Tony Grossi has been pretty steadfast. He believes that Watson will be the starter. But that doesn't necessarily mean it's because everybody loves him and feels he's the greatest thing since sliced bread. It's just that's the reality of the situation. This is going to be a long season, guys. We are going to have fun with all of that. Jacob, we are going to move on to the Guardians. You are free to stick around if you want. If not, we will let you move on to bigger and better things. You can go play MLB The Show, where the Guardians are far better than they are in reality. Your call, sir.
Not tonight. They scored like 6-1 today.
Hey, don't jinx them, Mike. Your call, sir. If you'd like to head on out, you may do so. If you'd like to stick around, you may do so as well, sir.
Yeah, I don't think I want to talk about the Guardians.
Yeah, neither do I. That's why neither do we. Well, Jacob, thank you for joining us. We will be you will be appearing with us more throughout the season. Always appreciate it, and glad we had you had a good time and a great experience at training camp. Oh, and one other note, that Schlesinger card.
Yep.
That was the last of the rookies from last year that we found. And we found it at the trading card store the night before at the store across the way from where my brother's apartment is in Columbus. We were searching, and we found Fannin, and then finally found the Schlesinger.
Yep.
That's a win. That's a win right there. Yep. All right, Jacob. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us. Appreciate it, and we will move on, and we will talk to you again soon, sir. I might even see you tonight.
I'll be back on Saturday.
All right, sounds good, sir, and we will talk to you later. Thank you, Jacob.
Yep.
All right, guys. First of all, I know we have gone way long. The Browns, as always, dominate the sports news in Cleveland. But, when you need to get some hydration beverages, maybe you've had a workout, you need some more sports apparel, you know where you need to go? Dick's House of Sport in Strongsville. Dick's House of Sport in Strongsville, a proud supporter of the Land Multimedia Group and all of their podcasts, the Bearded Browns, etc., Guards Mania, all of the great shows that are part of the Land Multimedia Group, Dick's House of Sport in Strongsville. I was hoping that possibly Mike Wilkes from Bearded Browns, Land Multimedia Group, might jump on with us this evening, but I know he had some scheduling stuff. He'll be on. He'll be around. Of course, big news. The Bearded Browns will be doing a pregame show on, WOBL in Lorraine, a live show on game days starting this Saturday. So if you're in the area and you're looking for a pregame show to listen to on the radio, don't want to listen to your usual network radio stuff, the Browns Radio Network, tune in to WOBL, catch the Bearded Browns. I believe they will be on an hour or hour and a half before before kickoff on game days. So congratulations to Angel, Mike. I'm not sure who all else is going to be on the program, but definitely that is awesome, and we will continue to promote that. Guys, we'll move through this other stuff kind of quickly. Guards ball. If I hear that term one more time, I'm going to throw up, because guards ball has turned into what was supposed to be do all the little things right. We've turned it into a mess. We can't do anything that is part of guards ball. What did you show the stat was that was posted on that graphic for the last, how many games? What's our, with runners in scoring position, Mike?
2 for 25 in the last 3 games.
0.084.
Guys, this is pitiful. I know that you said, what's the score right now, Mike? What's the latest in the ball game?
3 Guardians, bottom of the 8th.
Okay. Don't bring in Matt Festa. Last night they lose another one. Bobby wasn't his best, but the Guardians did manage to get a few runs. However, they made a mess of it for themselves. Matt Festa comes in. He chucks a wild. Did he throw a wild pitch? Then I don't even remember. It was just baloney. We screw it up every which way we possibly can and lose to the stinking Detroit Tigers. It was our first loss against them this season. The Guardians are struggling. When you get pitching, you get no hitting. When you get hitting, you get the bullpen that blows it.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote them off last year, as I think many people did, and then you could say they made a historic comeback, or Detroit had a historic collapse, or a little bit of both. They win the division. Here's my question to you, fellas. Are you ready to call the time of death on this season, Mike? Because you're the most optimistic.
So I'm giving them until after the next homestand, because we play the Padres and the Giants. So after tonight, there's 7 more games to just see where they're at.
Okay, all right.
I'm not going to confirm that they've won this game yet, but then if they can win this game and then win tomorrow, and then
you think they can right the ship? You think
see where you are after next homestand, because they're 4-14 in the last 18 games. I think.
Oh, we're horrible. We're like the worst team since the All-Star break. We're awful.
But we're only 4 games behind the division, aren't we, or something?
Yeah, we're 4 games behind
that's
the
not
division,
saying much.
2.5 behind wild card or whatever.
It's just see where we are after the next homestand, because we've struggled at home recently. Our home record hasn't been great.
Our home record is horrible. It's absolutely horrible.
Just see where we're at. And if we're still in a bad spot, then I'm at that point. My mindset is to just call up some younger guys and just see what they've got. Because I'm fed up with seeing guys like Rhys Hoskins hitting 1 home run and everyone thinks he's good.
Right.
But he's got what's his batting average? 182 or something?
Yeah, 184.
180 brutal.
So he hits home runs, but apart from that, he does nothing else.
Right. I don't know
and then
what.
Roko's batting since May's been terrible.
Right.
His defense has declined. Jose's came back and he hasn't been himself. Did they rush him back? Should they have just let him sit out for a couple more
I think he's
weeks?
still injured.
Because
right.
Don't forget, what was our record without him? 13-13. And since he came back, we're 8
we're
games,
awful.
8 games below 500 or something. Since he came back, it's
it's not good. It's bad. And I completely agree with you about calling up some of the young guys.
Get rid of Matt Festa, call up Yorman Gomez, or bring Espino back up.
Okay.
Khalil Watson was good when he came up, but then when Jose came back, or Aiden Hale was 1 and 2, they then sent Khalil Watson back down. And it's bring him back up, helping just, I don't know, what does he offer this team apart from a bit of speed?
Oh, and they've still got David Fry down, and David Fry's sitting in Columbus too.
Just give some of these young guns an opportunity. I'd rather root for.
What about Schneemann?
We've seen it.
Oh, okay. All right. I just was asking.
Maybe he's part of the long-term future, Schneemann, but right now I feel like Khalil Watson would be more entertaining, rooting for some.
I get you. Yeah, I get you. Drew, what do you think? Is it time to call the time of death on this season, or are you do the Guardians still have a pulse in your mind a faint one at that.
I think there's a pulse, but I think it's a weak pulse. Again, I did the same thing you did last year, Ethan. I kind of called it when they were down. I think it was the 14 and around like 14 and a half games. I was like, yeah, this is over. This is done. And then they came back and shocked the world. But it's going to take, like what Mike said, it's going to take a win tonight, and then you're going to have to go on some kind of run. And I'm talking.
Right. We haven't had it all season.
No, and I'm not talking about like a 3-4 game win streak either. I'm talking like you need like a 6 to 7 game win streak to just get back into everything and be, whether it's a game ahead, tied for the lead, a half a game back again. Like you need to go on some sort of run.
Right.
And with the way that the bullpen has been, the defense, the hitting, I'm not even counting the starting pitching, because the starting pitching has actually been better.
Right.
But all the other aspects of the game, it gives me not much confidence whatsoever.
Yeah, they are absolutely, they've been absolutely pitiful.
How many times though were we giving teams an extra out, and then instantly afterwards they're getting 2 runs from it?
Well, between
it happened yesterday with, I think Festa came in. We could have got out could we got out the inning? I think Jose made a sloppy play. They then scored 2 runs.
Today, yeah, they threw the ball.
They scored 2 runs today after we should have gotten out.
Right. I think it was it on a snap throw down to third yesterday, maybe. And he threw it by Ramirez, or Ramirez didn't
field it. Too often, like we're giving teams 4 outs in an inning, and then they capitalize for the 4th out, and like it's killing us.
Right. Between walks and errors, that's too much to overcome.
And when you've got an offense that's struggling to score more than 3 runs in the game, if you're gifting teams 2 runs because you're giving them an extra out in an inning, for a team like us, it's hard to overcome.
Well, we saw it last week against the Mets, where we should have been out of the inning on a double play, and next thing you know,
goes to extra innings and we lost, didn't we? We were up 6-5 against the Mets. Right?
Oh yeah, well we lost.
Rocco messed up the play.
Right.
They ended up tying it. We went to innings. Didn't Festa have to come in, and we ended up losing.
Yeah. Oh boy. So now they've got the tying run to coming to the plate in the bottom of the 8th. Is this what I'm seeing?
Yeah, Hunter Gaddis just gave up a single
to
McKinstry.
The stop defense is what's killing this team at the moment, in my opinion.
Right. So basically, they're going to try and bring out Cade Smith and make him pitch a 4-out save again.
Probably.
Which is what blows up in our face every stupid time.
Yeah, because then he gives up a walk, and then he gets a hit.
Exactly.
Just keep Gaddis in and just let Gaddis close it out here, then put Cade into 9th. But
you've got to have faith in these guys to do something. Although Yo-Ho-Ho and a bottle of rum, I wanted to make him walk the plank. Yo-Ho, the guy we acquired before or around the trade deadline, he was awful the other day when he could not find the strike zone. It was absolutely
back-to-back guys, didn't he?
He was back to back. He wasn't even close. The guy was terrible. It wasn't even close, and it took It was after the rain delay that screwed us in Chicago. And then
that wound me up though, because I went and looked at the forecast, and it was like within about half an hour first pitch, it's scheduled to rain. It's like why
start it? Why
screw you're screwing both teams? Like, yeah.
Here comes Cade Smith.
Like 2 games beforehand, they went to 13 innings or whatever it was in Boston.
Right, yeah. They
and then our bullpen's been struggling, and you're like, okay, we know the game is probably going to end up going in a rain delay. It's going to screw both teams because they're going to have to use their bullpen.
No, it was absolutely pitiful. I am not as faithful as you guys. I am so frustrated with the Guardians.
It's the basics, though, isn't it? That's the problem. Like,
right,
basics is letting them down. Like,
they can't even do the basics right. And when we're talking about the basics, we're talking about the simple situational things. Can you bunt a guy to third?
Can you hit a sack fly?
Can you hit a sack fly? Can you field the ball cleanly and throw to the correct bag? Can you not make a base running error? When you come in and you're a relief pitcher, can you throw a strike? Can you quit issuing free passes to these guys? all of these things are just not good enough. And some of it is on the talent on the roster. Some of it might be some managerial decisions that are being made. We have to wonder, what are we doing? What do we do? Take Nathaniel Lowe out yesterday for Reese and pinch hit Reese Hoskins or something?
Yeah, that got a lot of backlash, didn't it? A lot of people were moaning about that.
Like, yeah, I mean, Hoskins sucks, okay? He sucks.
Well, what kills me is this whole like analytical crap of like, it's a lefty pitcher, so we need all the right-handed bats we can get. Like, I don't care.
That's my biggest pet hate with baseball is these obsessions with platooning guys because they favor.
It didn't used to be that way, Mike. It didn't used to be that way. It really didn't used to be that way.
I think a lot of this started like 4 years ago, like, because I don't remember this happening. I just remember like lineups being like, oh, this is the best lineup we have. These are the best players, the best hitters, the best defense.
It doesn't matter what side of the plate you hit on. You're in. You're in. We're not going to take you out just because somebody else is pitching a lefty or a righty. No. Are you the best player? You should be in there. That's what the problem is with, in my opinion, a major problem with baseball today.
I get it, though. You've got two guys who have a similar batting average, but one of them's better against lefties. You can then put that guy in the lineup. When you've got someone that's got a high batting average, but then the guy that's replacing him's got a low one, it just hurts the team.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't make sense.
What makes me laugh, too, is like, I remember last season when people were saying Kyle Manzardo can hit left-handed pitchers, and then he comes in to pinch hit in the ninth inning, and like, I remember it was against the Twins. It was 3 games in a row against the Twins. He hit walk-off. He hit all 3 walk-offs. He hit 2 walk-off homers, and then he hit a walk-off base hit. All 3 against left-handed pitchers.
Right. You have to show some confidence in guys.
Yeah, he's like, oh, he can't hit lefties. Well, apparently he can because he just had I think he had a total of 5 walk-offs last year, all against lefties. I was like, apparently he can because he's walking it off against the left-handed pitchers. So apparently he can hit lefties.
Well, right. And that's what drives me bonkers. Okay. Did we get out of the inning or?
No, it was a wild pitch.
Of course. So now it's 6-4.
If Reese Hoskins had like a 260 batting average, I wouldn't mind him.
Why is
being better suited?
The ball instead of going to get it.
Is it? What's he better batting at? Righties or lefties? I can't remember.
I don't know. It doesn't matter.
That wouldn't bother me, but because he's a 180 hitter.
Right, he has no business being in the lineup.
If he was a 260 hitter and he was replacing a 260 hitter, it wouldn't bother me.
Right, but he's not. He's just absolutely not. There are no metrics which tell me he's a better hitter. And folks, as we're sitting here and we're talking, the Guardians are trying to squander another game, and Cade Smith is having to come in to try and save the day because Hunter Gaddis couldn't have a shutdown 8th inning. Now Cade Smith comes in, uncorks a wild pitch. A runner scores from third. The other runner moves up from first to second, 2 down, bottom of the 8th. And I'll leave it to you guys to keep us tuned in on that. I was going to go into a bunch of stuff, but the Guardians, but they were just pissing me off far too much. So I'm going to move on to another team that's pissing me off, the Cavs. They've done nothing. And I think that's what really pisses me off. They haven't done anything, but they haven't done anything, guys.
I'll say something quickly about the Guardians. Joe Adele, I just want to give him a shout out because he's been pretty decent since he came over, to be honest.
He's been very good. I really appreciate him. I think, do we have him beyond this year?
Yeah, he's got arbitration, I think. Is it arbitration next year?
I think it's arbitration next year.
Well, they better, I hope if there is a season or whatever it is, I hope they hang on to him because he's pretty darn good. I like him. He's a good bat in the lineup. He's a good right-handed power hitter.
And this is the only reason as well that Hoskins, I think, is still on the roster. Because if there was no forever lockdown next year,
they'd call Ralphie up.
Ralphie would have been called up, but because he's not on the 40-man.
Right, they're worried.
He's not part of the bargain agreement.
So right, and so he'd continue to be able to play.
But if that wasn't an issue, I think Hoskins probably would have been gone by now because Ralphie's just completely smashing the ball around AAA.
And that's absolutely absurd. I loathe these rules or whatever it is. I don't know. That ticks me off. And of course, look at this. Cade Smith, what are we, 11 pitches already?
I know exactly what's going to happen in this game.
we're gonna get. He's gonna lose it in the ninth.
If we get to the ninth inning, we won't score in the ninth. Cade Smith will get 2 outs. Fester will come in down. We're not blowing the game because Cade Smith's not going to be able to get 4 outs.
Well, he got out of it. 12 pitches? He's going to need to. Yeah, I just see a strikeout there.
I don't see it.
I'm just watching on ESPN's GameCast. So, joke's on you. Let's move on to the Cavs here real quick. Don't want to take too long on this, guys. Can we cut the crap with crying about the Cavs and their schedule and not playing on Christmas and opening in Philly? First of all, I don't give a flying rat's patoozie if we play on Christmas. We don't deserve to play on Christmas. Don't give me this BS. We were in the Eastern Conference Finals. We have done nothing to prove that we are worthy to be on Christmas Day. I'm glad because they ruined my Christmas Day last year when they took a giant dump in New York and pissed me off.
We were up about 17 points in that game, right?
It was a precursor to the playoffs.
Yep.
So I don't care. Guys, it doesn't. Do you really want them on national TV so that we can have crappy announcers, so that we have to try and stream them on a bazillion different services? Do we really want that? I don't. No. I don't give a crap.
Well, and for me, it's just a schedule. You're going to play these games and teams anyway. Who cares? Why does it matter what day it is, what time? It's the same thing that I've always said about the NFL schedule. The Browns don't have any prime time. Who honestly cares?
Right. The prime time doesn't bother me. I do want to know when they're playing teams because it's different, but it's different than the NBA. It's vastly different.
I don't care about, we don't play on Christmas. Who cares? Why does that matter so much? I get it's a primetime game, but who cares? I don't think Charlotte or teams like Charlotte Hornets, whatever, have played on Christmas ever because of how bad they've been.
Right.
Do you think they care? No. The thing is, you're playing 82 games. There's 82 games on the schedule. You're going to play all Eastern Conference teams multiple times. Who cares? Who genuinely cares? If you care so much about a schedule, you should stop watching sports, period, if you care about a schedule.
Right. And whether your team is playing on national TV and taking it as some sort of a slight by the league. I don't care.
The only thing we should care about is if you can watch it because of how many services it's on. That's the only thing I care about is can I watch the game?
That's exactly right. And like I said, when they're on all these multiple things. So what did you guys say? What have we figured out? They are opening Philly's home opener. I guess that is our season opener.
Yeah.
Okay. And
it's not their home opener. It's not their season opener.
It's not their season opener, but it's their home opener.
They play in MSG as their season opener.
Right, but it's their home opener.
Then they play 2 nights later as their home opener against the Cavs.
Right, all right. Maybe LeBron will rest.
It's our 5th straight season, I think it is, where we play the first game on the road.
Yeah, but again, don't care.
But there is one thing about the schedule which is a bit strange.
What's that?
The Knicks aren't playing the opening game. Boston are playing the Pistons. That's the first game of the season.
Yeah, but I don't.
Weird.
But it's not this. It doesn't matter.
Because genuinely, the defending champions open the season.
I know, but it doesn't matter. Who knows what the reasoning is behind it? I don't give a flying rat's patoozie when we play. And the game in Philly, that their home opener, our season opener, it's on Crapazon Prime. And I'm gonna have to deal with that baloney. And only by the grace of God do I have you guys to be able to watch the game because I'm not spending $1 bazillion on all these stupid streaming services. I already spend enough just to watch the clowns.
By the way, that game was on ESPN.
Which one?
The LeBron opener.
Okay, it's him his game in Cleveland, but that's on Prime.
That's on Prime.
Okay, in 2 weeks after that. My mistake again. See, I'm shooting from the hip and I'm shooting wrong.
So his first home game is against the Cavs, and that's on ESPN.
Yeah, and great, good for them. It's a ratings thing, right? Mm-hmm. And good for them. Whatever. I just want to be able to watch the Cavs games, and I want to see them win. And that's where I'm mostly concerned. I'm not worried about what the schedule is. I'm not worried about how many national TV games we have. I don't give a darn. I just don't. We got to play 82 games. Let's win those. I don't care about the useless NBA Cup, which is a booby prize. And
I actually like the NBA Cup, but that's just
okay,
me.
but let me ask you this: what for? What for? What if you play an extra game and somebody gets hurt, and you gain nothing? It does not help you in the playoff seedings. It does not help you at all.
But
And what if somebody gets hurt?
But you only play the extra game in the final, right? Because the semi-final counts towards your regular season.
Right, it does. But let's say you make it all the way to the final and then somebody gets hurt. Was it worth it playing the NBA Cup, or do you want to win the Larry O'Brien Trophy and be hoisting that at the end of the season?
It depends who you are, I guess. If you're the Milwaukee Bucks,
okay. Well, we have championship aspirations. So, do you want to win the NBA Cup, or do you want to be hoisting the trophy in June? You tell me.
Well,
all right. Enough said. I'm sick of the NBA Cup and kiss my butt.
As a neutral, I like it. Like, I enjoy watching other teams.
I mean, sure, I get it, but in general, like it doesn't mean anything.
I think it's good for teams that are going to be in like the draft lottery.
But
they know before the season that they're probably like the Brooklyn
okay,
Nets.
but why not?
The Brooklyn Nets going to be in the playoffs.
If you want to make the NBA Cup something that's more worthwhile, it's not about a cash prize. You have to attach some value to it toward your season. You should be guaranteed that you are at least the 10th seed. Like you guaranteed you're in the play-in tournament if you win that.
So if you're Brooklyn Nets and you finish 15th in the East, but you win the NBA Cup, you slide up to the 10, and then 10 slides into 11.
Yep.
Everyone moves back.
Bingo. It's kind of like the Premier League, right? With when you win. Oh, geez, my brain is not working here, guys. But how we won? We were 17th, but we won. What is it? Europa. So we were in the Champions League, and didn't somebody get screwed because of that?
No, I don't know. They didn't, because we got the Europa League winning spot, which is separate from the Premier League.
Okay. I thought there were certain circumstances in which somebody can get hosed if they win this, but they didn't finish in the spot that they normally would. If they, whereas like you finish top, whatever, you can get in the Champions League. Oh, well, wait a second. This team won this trophy or this tournament.
That changed. Spurs got done by that years ago when they finished fourth, and Chelsea won the Champions League and they finished like 8th.
Bingo.
And they took our spot, but.
Right. Okay. That's what I'm thinking. So I think you need to attach something like that. It's not, I agree. There's guys on the end of the bench. The money matters, and it's a nice little extra prize. But let's make it really count, guys. Let's make that championship really count. You want it to matter? That's how you make it matter.
Give them a play-in spot. Yeah, the last play-in spot goes to the winner if they're not already in.
Exactly. I think it's a great way of doing it. That gives you something to aspire to.
Because like a team, I don't want to say the Brooklyn Nets because it's a bit unfair, but a team like them who's in a rebuild, like if they can just step up for 4 games or whatever, 5 games, yeah, to win the NBA Cup. 6? Is it 5? 6?
They play.
6.
I'm not sure, but the group stage would you?
It's 6 because it's 5 teams in the group, yeah. So it's 4 games and then 2 knockouts. So if they can step up for 6 games and win the NBA Cup, that gets them a playing spot. Like,
and the Cavs are in a bit of a death group with the NBA Cup. We got to play. Who's in our group? Philly.
Where's Drew gone? Because I can't even hear you now.
Oh no. Okay, Drew had to step away. He'll be right back. You can't hear me. Okay, so of course StreamYard is taking a giant duke
I can hear
right
you,
now.
but it's very faint.
Okay, I don't understand how that is. Hello.
That's better.
All right. Well, I'll speak very loudly.
You're back. You're back now. It's just when Drew dropped off.
Okay. We're in the group of death for the NBA Cup.
Don't we have the Pacers, the Knicks, the 76ers, and who's the other one? The Heat, in it? Is it the Heat?
I think it is. So. But the Knicks and the Sixers is bad enough. Pacers, they might actually. Who knows how they're going to bounce back? I don't think
that is the 4 teams. We've got the 76ers, the Heat, the Pacers, and the Knicks.
So we're already not the favorite in that group. I mean, I think that you'd put Philly and New York at the top of that. I mean, last year we couldn't even get out of the crappy group. We had the freaking Hawks in our group, for crying out loud. And didn't we? And the Wizards, we're the Wizards in our group, and we couldn't get out of the group. I mean, just I don't know. It's absolutely crazy.
But I do feel like though the Cavs. I don't want to bring a damper on the Cavs season, but I feel like the Cavs can't manage the season like they have previously.
Oh
When
no.
it comes to load management, I think they're going to actually have to play for seeding because I'm in this mindset that they could get dragged into potential playing if they don't manage the season right. If that makes sense.
It is certainly
Because the
possible.
Pacers have got Tyreek Halliburton coming back, and they were in the NBA Finals before he got hurt. Miami's going to be better with Giannis. We all know the 76ers are going to be better. The Hawks are going to be better.
In theory, the Hawks should definitely be better. I'm not so sure about the Pacers. Just because they get Tyrese Halliburton back, they've lost a lot of other pieces.
I just don't think the Cavs can just try and
right. They're not going to be able to just simply
manage, however you want to classify it this season. Like they have kind of got away with it the last couple of years.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to do that.
This year. I just don't think they're going to be able to do it because they could quite easily get dragged into like fighting the likes of Toronto and Orlando for like a playing spot.
It's not out of the realm of possibility, Mike. It is absolutely not out of the realm of possibility. What also is not out of the realm of possibility is that I officially call the time of death on the Guardians season tonight if they blow this game. If they blow this game.
I told you we wouldn't score in the ninth.
Well, we all knew that. Mike, you didn't have to tell us. We knew this. We all knew this. And now there's a guy on first, and Cade Smith is going to have to fight through this. Come
If he doesn't
on.
fight through this, we all know Matt Fester's coming in next because Cade Smith ain't going to go into a third inning.
They'll like tie it up and then we'll I don't know, Mike. All right. So, why don't I know that we're waiting for Drew. Drew will pop back on. Okay. He got, let's see. I believe he got the out, a strikeout here. So one down.
Peyton Watson's going to become a Cav on a sign and trade. That's kind of the big news that's floating around at the moment. Like,
I sure hope they do something. I honestly hope they can pull something off. Did you see the film? We might have talked about it of Jalen Tyson doing Mitchell's like over the shoulder windmill dribble thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. If he can add that to his repertoire, that makes. I know that Tyson is not the best defender in the world, but I think he's got some upside on him, and I like the way he's developed. He needs to continue to do so. Hopefully, Malik Thomas.
So you can have Malik Thomas, Proctor, Tyson, Super Mario, and Tomlin as our potential bench, right?
Right, and Thomas Bryant.
And Thomas Bryant and maybe Porter Jr. But yeah, that's pretty much what our bench is going to be because Dennis Schroeder and Max Strus are probably going to be gone. And then Peyton Watson is going to come in. And you obviously
got Sam. And you got Sam. I think Strus will be around. I think it's just going to be Schroeder. But unless they have to do it to make it financially work. Guys, going across the pond, Premier League starts what in about less than in 10 days? Is that right?
Next Saturday.
Next Friday.
Or next Friday. Sorry. Yeah, Arsenal play next Friday.
Okay. Latest news. What'd you say? Christian Romero for Tottenham is moving on to where is he going, guys?
Atletico Madrid, right?
He's going to Spain finally.
Yep, he's going to Spain.
They kind of flirted around with him last summer, but Spurs.
Okay.
Spurs, for some reason, decided to sign him to a new contract.
Okay, so he's gone. So, what are the other things? The latest moves. There is Balogun going? He's reportedly, possibly going to be a member of Tottenham Hotspur.
No, they said those rumors are kind of dead.
Okay.
There was slight interest, but no real progress.
Yeah, slight interest, no actual progress. Yeah.
Jed Spence is going to Inter Milan, unfortunately.
Yeah, Jed Spence is going to Inter Milan.
Okay, that's a big loss.
It is and it isn't because De Zerbi
feels like it. It feels like it.
Well, he was playing well, but De Zerbi prefers Obviously Pedro Porro is your number one, one of your number one backs and wing backs and he's one of the best in the Prem. So he's not going to play over him. And then you have Destiny Udogi, who's more in favor under De Zerbi. So it's more so you have a guy who is kind of falling out of favor. So he's going to go to a team where he's going to get more minutes and more game time.
Okay.
So it's a loss for sure because of how well he was playing before the World Cup, during the World Cup.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
Yeah.
he looked amazing for England in the World Cup.
Yeah, he looked really good, but again, it's more so not wanting to be a backup option.
All right, that's fair.
Didn't Milan just sold Dumfries to Real Madrid on a free transfer? So
Yeah.
I think it's free transfer. So was it free transfer or was it cheap? I can't remember.
It was a free transfer, I believe. I think he was out of his contract.
But anyway, so they had an open spot. He's going to be guaranteed playing in the Champions League. He's going to get regular minutes, whereas De Zerbi can't guarantee him that at Spurs, like because of Pedro Porro. So it's like if he wants to stick around and wants to be a rotational player, then great. But like De Zerbi made it clear that any player that doesn't want to do that, he'd rather move them on. So
all right. Well, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. De Zerbi came in and was able to guide the team and save the season so they didn't get relegated. So I'm going to have to give him a little bit of he's earned equity. He's earned some equity. What's going on around down in Columbus in the 614 Columbus Crew? I did not go to the game last Friday. Look, we were busy finding the Carson Schlesinger card.
I mean, that's true. That's true. You had to get the Carson Schlesinger card.
We had a good time. We were checking out all some spots there and whatnot, and it rained too early. I think it cleared out, but we did not go to the game last weekend. What's going on with the Crew, guys? Anything of news and note?
So the Crew just signed Josef Martinez.
How long will it be to get his work visa?
Well, he's been in the MLS for a while.
Oh, okay. All right, I was just checking.
He's played for Atlanta United for I think it was like 5 or 6 years. Then he went to Montreal to play for Montreal, and then he went to play for San Jose. So he's been around the MLS. I think we just got him. I think he was playing in Mexico, if I remember right, in the Mexican league. But he played like a few games, and then the Crew brought him back to MLS. But he's supposed to be a goal scorer because when in his first couple seasons with Atlanta, he had 34 goals, and then the next season he had 33, and then with San Jose he had almost 15, 16, and then this season with Montreal he had 14. So he's a goal scorer, and that's what we're kind of missing is that kind of goal scoring piece because we lost Abu Ali, who went down with a torn ACL after game 3 or something in the season. So we signed a new striker.
Okay.
Which was very big that we needed.
Well, that's definitely good and ball game.
Yeah,
he's hobbling. The game, but he's hobbling.
Well, these things happen, but we won. That's all that's at the end of the day, that's what counts. So where are we at? So I mean, geez, Alou, in the East, we are way back. There's no number, so I can't tell you what place we're in. But we only have 20 points. And the top team, Nashville, 40 points in 18 matches, 12 wins, 4 draws, 2 losses, a plus 21 goal differential, while the Crew sits 5 wins, 5 draws, 8 losses, -2 in the goal differential, just 20 points on the season for the Columbus Crew. That's not good.
No, but it's still pretty early on.
All right.
And 20 points, I mean, you're three points away from the last playoff spot, so you're still very much in it. And luckily, the Crew have been playing a lot better. Because obviously they beat Cincinnati, then they've all 3 Leagues Cup games except for this past one against Pumas, they've looked really good. So the team is actually looking better. than they were kind of in the beginning of the season. So there's some upside. Now, obviously, we're making signings, which is a very big positive. So the team has switched around now. Obviously, with a lot of new signings, you know, these guys need to get worked in. And again, some guys are still awaiting visa. Some guys are still like they're not playing just because they haven't practiced enough with the team to get, you know, familiar with the team. So like Eric Bailey, who we signed, who is a former Man United player, he still hasn't played a game yet, just because he's only had 3 practices. So you want him to get acclimated with the team before you just throw him out there. But
Right.
But the crew are making smarter moves. They're getting players that fit in. They look good, and they're getting guys in here that can help. So they should be able to go on a small run and, you know, get back into the playoff spots and kind of keep their place there.
Fair enough. All right, guys, we've been droning on a long time here, but I think it's time to let everyone know what has us going nuCLEar this week. Drew, what has you going nuCLEar?
So we're gonna stick with the apartment theme here, and it has nothing to do with the building itself this time. So no trash, you know, no
parking spaces, no maintenance.
It's trying to get into the parking garage, because Ethan, you saw where we have to go that little alley in between.
Yes.
Constantino's and the other on our building. There's that little alley. Well, there's 3 garages in that alley. So the part that has me going nuCLEar is people stopping and parking in front of the driveway. Whether it's door dashers trying to deliver stuff, people dropping people off. And it's like, hello, you know it's state law to not block driveways, right? And it's why are you blocking this driveway? And I've honked my horns at people all the time. I've rolled down my windows like, hey, you have to move. You can't park in front of the driveway. And they're like, why are you trying to go down an alley? I was like, well, if you actually turn your head, there's garages down there where people park and live. And it's like, you can't park in the middle of the alley where people are trying to go in and park. And then you get people who, I missed this turn. So they drive into the alley and then they're trying to back out. And there's no way to back out because there's so many cars coming.
Exactly. Yes.
So people are stuck trying to back out. And now I'm just sitting there stuck and there's no turn lane. So people behind me can't go around me. So now everyone's pissed at me because I can't turn. They just go straight. I'm like, I live here. I can't go straight. The only thing I could do is go into the Constantino's parking lot and turn around and go in the opposite lane to turn right. But again, that person's still going to be there because they're trying to back out, or they're just staying in front of the driveway. So it has me going nuCLEar because it's just the simplest rules of you can't park in front of a driveway. It's basically nationwide law. You can't park in front of someone's driveway. It's just. Or
it's common courtesy.
Period.
It's common courtesy. It's following the rules, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, and people look at it as like, oh, this is just an alley. Like nobody's going in and out of this. Buddy, people live there. People need to get in and out of there. You can't just. And then there's times where there's one day last month, me and Jenna were coming back from the store, and this person whips it around, pulls in front of the alley, like directly in the middle, blocks the driveway. They physically get out of their car and just walk into the store. And it's like, and we roll down, we're like, you can't park there to go to the store. People live here. We're trying to get into there so we can go park in our garage. And you'll be a couple minutes. Dog, they have their own parking lot on the opposite side of the building. You can go park there. Or there's street parking all over the place where you can park in the street. You're not supposed to park in front of the alley where people are trying to get in and out. And there's another guy trying to come out.
Oh, my God.
Stuck.
This sounds like the situation where in a parking lot, someone parks in your spot and so you block them in, or you get some people and you move their car. Like if it's like some, did you ever see videos, or I don't know if it's real, where like maybe football players, I don't know if this is on college campuses, high schools, they'd all take some poor sap's car.
Yeah.
They carry it and move
Well, I'm at the point where, like, if someone gets out of their car, if I see someone not in their car and they're in front of the alley, even if like the back end, because there's people who park in the street, but the back end's like halfway in between, so like you can still kind of go around them to get out, but it's still like an inconvenience, and they're still blocking half of the driveway. There's times where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna slowly just nudge them out of the way, and even if that puts their car in the middle of the road, I don't care. Their car can get hit all they want. That's their fault.
All right. I don't know that I'd go there. That sounds like a Mr. Bean-esque move when he would push the three-wheel car out of the way.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like to me. Wow. I feel you. I feel you, Drew. Mike, what has you going nuclear, sir?
I don't really have anything really.
Oh, that's fair. That's good. That's a good week then.
That's a good week.
Honestly, that's a good week when you don't have anything.
Guardians has to be going nuclear, but they won tonight. The Deshaun Watson starting as quarterback has to be going nuclear. The Cavs not making any roster moves apart from Super Mario. That has to be going
nuclear. Yeah. No. I feel you. Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, I'm actually glad because someone's got to be the calm person amongst us, right? Because I'm clearly not that person.
I could sit here and moan about Spurs fans moaning about transfer fees and not understanding Premier League.
That's a good one.
And all this and jazz. But
well, what has me going nuclear this week is the ongoing theme of Browns training camp and people complaining about ESPN Cleveland's quarterback tracker. Guys, it's not the gospel. It's not the end all be all. And seeing a cat's tail in your face is absolutely hilarious. Did a very good job playing it off.
I think he might have a going nuclear himself here.
He may. He's like, I'm hungry. Get off the computer. But listen, guys, what you need to understand is that it's a talking point. It's something that they use. It's content. They want people to talk about it, and they're doing exactly what they want it to do. People are talking about it over and over and over and over again. Now, here's the point. Listen to the local media. Listen to ESPN Cleveland. Listen to 92.3 The Fan. Check out our podcast. Listen to other people, and you'll get the full picture, or as full of a picture as you can possibly get without somebody sitting in the meeting rooms. That's not going to happen. All the tracker does is gives you a data point, something to discuss. I witnessed Tony Grossi, Chops, and Justin Cooper from ESPN Cleveland tracking the passes on Saturday. And they track when it's with the first team, when it's with the second team, when it's padded, when it's not padded. Guys, I don't know what else to tell you. If all you can do is see that and then cry about it, and that's what you think is the end all be all, I don't know what to tell you guys. So people who are not able to understand that and able to realize that the quarterback tracker is not the end all be all, it's not the gospel, that is what has me going nuclear. Folks, thank you all for sticking with us. All 29 of you are still with us strong. We really appreciate it. We've been here almost 2 hours. It was an extended show talking about the clowns. Want to thank Jacob Greenberg for my son for joining us. Appreciate that. And we will plan to be back here with you on Saturday afternoon to watch along as the Browns take on the Chicago Bears. We have a lot to watch for sure. Not only the quarterback position, but really you've got to look at how the offensive line plays. You want to see how the wide receivers show up and show out. What's the defense going to look like? You're hoping that everyone comes out of that one healthy. And again, we will be back here and plan to be back here on Saturday afternoon as the Browns travel to Chicago to take on the Chicago Bears. So we got that going for us. Be sure to tune in to that. Be sure to tune into all the programs on the Land Multimedia Group. Want to thank Dick's House of Sport, a proud sponsor of the Land Multimedia Group. And if you're in the Cleveland area, I don't know, maybe if they're also going to stream it, WOBL, The Bearded Browns will be on pre-games, not just for the preseason, but during the regular season. And they're also going to be on Saturday mornings. And they will replay their Tuesday night show. That's usually their podcast, which is on YouTube and other streaming platforms. They will be replaying that on WOBL. So be sure to tune in and check all of that out. And with that, we will bid you a fair good night. For Drew Hagenbaugh, for Mike Pellegrini, I'm Ethan Greenberg, and you have been tuned in to Going nuCLEar, full-blown coverage of the Land, part of the Land Multimedia Group.